Hello, everybody. I'm Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. And today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 must-dos in leadership to be successful. So, do you want to be a real leader in our industry, whether in business or in the kitchen or in life? There's 5 non-negotiables you need to do all the time in order to be successful. So if you master these 5 things, you will build a team, you will build a brand, and you will build a legacy that lasts. Again, my name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. The first thing I want you to do, if you don't mind, just share the episode with a friend, somebody who you feel would benefit from you sharing this with him about leadership. And then also, if you don't mind, click the bell. Make sure you hear every single time when we have a new episode coming out. We're currently posting shows twice a week. There's a Monday show where I bring the latest and greatest, the newest people I meet, which I feel you could learn something amazing from. And on a Friday, it is just me. So let's get into it. So the first thing is, for me, you need to set a vision and keep it clear. For me, that's really, really simple. For me, I learned over the years that the team is confused about your mission, or is the team not really fully bought in? So clarity beats motivation. So it's really simple as that. A clear purpose makes not just you people show up, it just makes it easy for you to get across to your team of what you want to do. So keep it simple and repeat it often. For me, that's probably the simplest thing for me to have. Goal number 1, set a vision and keep it clear. So maybe there's something you need to ask. If I ask my team right now, would they say the same thing about what your mission is? Number 2, build people, not profits. And that's a really tough one because a lot of industry leaders, they're looking at profits. For me, it took me a long time to learn that bosses give orders, but leaders create opportunities. It's really important that you do that. And so in order for you to invest in your people, you need to teach them, you need to mentor them, you need to coach them. Because as you do this, you build not just a successful team, you know what they're working for. And it's really, really important. So they are really clear on what is your expectations, and that they know if you do something, why are you doing this? So build people, not just profits, my number 2. And that's a really good question I always ask myself. Am I growing my people? Or do I expect them to just perform? And it's as simple as that. So the third thing for me is, you know what? At the end of the day, take ownership. That is everything. No excuses, no blaming, no finger pointing. Owners win, and real owners are successful. So when things go wrong, a leader does not make excuses. They find solution. And then I call it extreme ownership. Means, hey, if it happens on my watch, it's my responsibility. And as for me, something I learned, thank God, very early on. And for me, there's a question that I ask myself every day. Do I take full responsibility for my team's performance? Or do I just make excuses? Because if you ask yourself that question every single day, I guarantee you that you have full ownership. Remember, taking ownership is everything. So goal number 4, communicate like a leader. And that's something I learned over my lifetime. The best leaders listen more than they speak. And that was really tough for me because I wanted to make sure that they know what we're working on today, what we're working on for the week. Also, I wanted to make sure that they can expect not for me just to be a mind reader. So be clear, be direct, and be intentional. For me, that's really important. That's something I learned a little bit late because for me, I wanted to tell them, hey, this is what we do as an organization. This is the direction we're going. This is why we do what we do. This is how you can make an impact. And for me, I worked for one of my bosses I absolutely loved. And he said to me, Christian, you know what? There's a reason you have two ears and one mouth, and that is all about listen a lot more than you speak. And then when, because you can be expected to read people's mind. So therefore, be clear, have a clear direction, and be intentional. And for me, that changed everything. Feedback shouldn't be just constant and constructive. It should also be something which lifts them up and makes them realize what they're doing wrong. And there's a question myself. I started asking myself, do I communicate my expectations and my goals clearly, or do I assume my people just to know? And for me, there's days I go home, I know that my team knows exactly where we want to go. And so for me, that's point number 4, communicate like a leader. Because most leadership problems are communication problems. And for me, that's just a really, really big one. So, and the final one is number 5. You've probably heard this a lot, lead by example. And not just lead by example every day. And for me, again, over the years, I had to learn that if you accept, people are disciplined, then be disciplined. If you expect high standard, be the first of them to act on it. And then also, the moment you stop learning, or the moment you stop leading on expectations, you lose credibility. Every action teaches your team what to expect. And there's a question I ask myself every single day. Would I follow someone who leads like me? And that's probably the easiest question you can ask yourself as a leader on a daily basis. So for me, those are the 5 things. If you do those 5 things, you will have a team which is better than teams down the street. You will have a team which builds a brand and which builds a legacy that lasts. So again, let's go down. The first one is set a clear vision and clear goals. Keep it simple. Repeat it often. You know what? And if people don't know, it's not their fault. It's your fault. So it's really important to have a clear vision and keep clear goals. Point number 2. You know what? We're building people, not just profits. Because bosses give orders and leaders create opportunities. That was for me the biggest learning curve. And then also for you, look at it. Hey, do I really give my team all of the tools they need to be successful? Or do I build dependency? So build people, not just profits. Point number 3, take ownership of everything. You know what? Leaders don't make excuses. They find solutions. It's as simple as that. You probably hear this often. And then also, if you shift, if something goes wrong and you blame or you lose trust, it takes responsibility. And not just responsibility, your team will respect you. And it will respect you more if you take ownership. And that's the question I ask myself every day. Do I take full responsibility of my team's performance, or do I make excuses? I know I take full responsibility. Point number 4 is for me really simple. Communicate like a leader. The best leaders listen a lot more than they speak. And then for you, be clear, be direct, be intentional. Because your feedback should be constant and it should be constructive. And that's for me what makes number 4 the best. And then for me, number 5 is really simple. Lead it by example, not just leading by example, but lead by example every single day. Every action teaches your team what is acceptable. And it's as simple as that. So ask yourself that simple question: would I follow somebody who leads like me? And it's as simple as that. For me, over my career, almost now 40 years, I learned all of those things little by little. I learned all of those things because I seen it in the people I work for. So, the end of the day, leadership is not about control. It's about clarity, growth, and responsibility. And as simple as that. So if you communicate that directly and every day, you know what? These 5 things will give you whatever you need to build your teams win. So with that, I want to say thank you for being here today. Hopefully these 5 points will help you, because I honestly feel if you work those 5 points, you will win every single day. And with that, I want to say thanks for being here. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. And again, hey, leave me a like or leave me a question. I want to know, what are your 5 disciplines you follow to be successful in your job? Not just being successful, building a brand, building teams, and the legacy which lasts. Also, if you wouldn't mind, click that notification bell so you know every Friday when we come on. We have 2 episodes a week. On Monday, I bring you a great person which I interview because I want to learn from them and I admire what they do. And on a Friday, you get me. So with that, I want to say thanks for being here today. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. And I see you next week. Thanks, everybody.